Night, my dear friends, tonight now as we join the golden pages of Bhagavatam, first of all, it is said in the holy pages of Bhagavatam, we would have come across that part of our scripture that is called Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, we speak of Bhagavan Shri Krishna as he gives the kahani and he gives that message to that beautiful Lord, to that individual called Arjuna. It is said Arjuna comes from that family of five, where as he is part of the five brothers. There is Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadev, Yudhishthir, and Bhim. While it is said these five brothers will stand together united as a family with strength, they will fight together as a family. As we say in today's world, the family that prays together will stay together. Beautiful words of Baba Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai. We have come united together as a family tonight to pray, only to hope for the better, for blessings, for guidance, for protection, and only for the better of our lives in many different ways. And in doing so, as we will take a moment to pray with our hearts pure with devotion, it is said these five brothers, they've been casted out from their kingdom. They cannot go back there. Due to a family rift and a family crisis, an issue, they are fighting. And while families are fighting for land and wealth and property, it is said families are broken up. In today's world, is there anything different? In today's world, it is said this took place in the age of Dwapar Yoga. And in the age of Kali Yuga today, yet today people are fighting for land and wealth and property. Yet today brothers are falling out with brothers. Yet sisters do not speak with sisters because of a bera, because of a gold chain, because of the deed of somebody's house, because of some piece of land, some portion of land. And in today's world, people are breaking up. Families are breaking up for simple things that we cannot take with us. What is the reality of the world? Itna tu karna Swami, jab pran tan se nikale. This pran, this energy, this life force, this breath that we breathe every day, we will allow it to be exhausted, and one day we will not even have that very sad breath. We will not be able to breathe once more. But if you take that final breath, as we say, Govinda Naam lekar, take that final breath, tab pran tan se nikale, when the soul is about to leave, when we are about to breathe it our last, when we can chant the name of Govinda, when we can chant the name of any God that you may love the most, Bhagwan Shankar, Mahavir Swami, Adi Shakti Durga Mata, it is said our souls will then merge and become one with that Paramatma. But why fight for land and wealth and property? In our message, it is said while Arjuna stands there, he stands with his four other brothers, and they have come to a point where they have been casted out. They have been sent into the forest for 12 years. And while they're there for 12 years, the deal is if anybody from the village sees you or spots an eye on you at any point in this 12 years, you'll go back for another 12 years. Friends and bhaktas, they're trying to hide, but they want to get out of this bondage that they are in. They want to get out of this cycle. Have you ever wondered at one point in your life, when will I come out of the aura that I'm in? Many people sit down in today's world and they ask themselves, why me? Why my life? How come everybody else is doing fine but me? Many people ask the question, how come some people don't even pray as much as I do, but yet my life is in a mess and they are living happy? When will you break the barriers of bondages and problems in your life? And while we ask ourselves this question, Arjuna sits with his brothers and he says the family that prays together will stay together. Tonight as a family, when we pray, don't just sit and fold the arms. Don't just prop the chin. Don't just, my friends, sit there or be there, but you are blessed to be here. Many are called and few are chosen, and we are the lucky ones who are here tonight. There are people who are wishing to be here. There are many people who are calling and say, Baba, I don't know how to find our place. We have to share the WhatsApp location. There are many people asking, Baba, I don't know, I want to be there, but I don't even have a ride. There are many people who are saying, Baba, is it on the radio because we want to hear it? Is it on television because we want to see it? Thank God for Sankhya television. There are many people who are wishing to have a moment to be a part of the yajna, many yajnas, to get the darshan and the blessing of God in His manifestations. And today we are lucky in being here. Don't just sit there, but take a moment. In the crisis, their life is in a mess, and they want to bring peace within them. Who is the Lord of Peace? Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarutamiva Vandanam Mrityur Mokshayamamrita. So the five brothers sit together and they're deciding now that they must pray. When you have a problem, pray. When problems get worse, pray harder. Don't pray less. He said, Baba, praying harder, no matter how much I pray, there's no solution to my problem. So you know what? I'm going to finish praying. I'm going to stop praying now. I'm going to go to a different avenue. I'm going to look for a different source of devotion. When you cannot find the answers to your devotion, pray harder. Never give up. God will never give you more than you can handle. He will make you reach that breaking point. But He's only testing your faith. Tonight, let Him see our strength and our love. Let the Divine Masters feel our energy. For it is said, the 5 brothers sit together. And who will they pray to? The Lord of Peace. It is said, gathered together are the 5 Pandavas. They have decided that in order to conquer that moment that they're going through, in order to break barriers of problems, they must pray to Bhagwan Shiva. So they sat down, and Arjuna remembers the words of his Guru. Whenever you're in a crisis, whenever you have a problem, whenever things are not going the way you want it to be, whenever things are upside down, ulta as we say, whenever you're not comfortable, then it is said with a problem in your life, you turn to that individual who will guide you. Who are there to guide you? Matradeva Bhava, your mother is your first Guru. Or Pitrudeva Bhava, your father. Not many people are comfortable to go to mother and father sometimes. Not many people feel comfortable to relate to them. So when you cannot relate to mother and father, then Guru Matra Pita Guru Bandhu Saka Tere Charano Me Swami Mere Kote Pranam. Then pay respects to your Guru. Then invite him into your life. And when you invite the Guru, everybody all together, most beautiful one. Ao Guru De Darshan Dejo. Ao Guru De Darshan Dejo. Tum ho Jagat Ke Data. Tum ho Jagat Ke Data. Gajanana Swami ki. Turn to your gurus, turn to your preceptors, seek the divine and spiritual advice, and they will guide you on the right path of life. Sometimes because they are living that holy life, they can see on a different level, on a different plane. They can understand from a higher perspective. They can simply look at you, and due to aura, due to energies, due to the balance of chakras, they can tell what is right and what is wrong, what is not good. Sometimes they may not understand the situation, but the energy can guide them to say, you know what, you're going down the wrong road. You're going down the wrong path, and they can guide you. Take the words of your mothers and your fathers. Listen to your parents, to all the youths who are here today, to all the children who are here today. Your mother will be only one. You will only have that one mother who brought you into the world. And while mother sacrifices for you, give it your all for them. While mother will sacrifice for you, it is said from even in the womb of that mother, she would have sacrificed, and for 9 months, she would have kept you there. For 9 months, she would have held you, and she would have never complained. But you know what happened in today's world? We complain when they call on us. When the mother would have taken us around the world for that 9 months, and she would have kept that pain there, she would have stood firmly to make sure that you are happy and you're comfortable and you got something to eat. We were happy at that time. And today when a mother says, son, you could bring some water for me, Ma will in the kitchen right there. Where is our love for our mothers, our gurus, our preceptors? It is said while the 5 Pandavas are seated there, they've come to the conclusion that they must now act further in order to be relieved of their distress. So what do? They decide to pray to Lord Shiva. What is the important offering to Bhagwan Shankar? What is the important role of an individual? Param toyam yome bhakta priyachate. It is said Pushpam is one of the offering that Bhagwan Shri Krishna says. One of the offering that is actually flowers. Pushpa means a flower. Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. To those who offer flower to the Lord with full faith and devotion, He will accept it. It is said today, Bhagwan Shiva says, Ashtavidam Pushpam. If you can offer that 5-petal flower to me, I will guide you and bless you. Tonight we are receiving blessings of Bhagwan Shiva. What does Lord Shiva want? He says, Ahimsa Pratamam Pushpam. May the first petal of that flower be Ahimsa, non-violence. How many people like to fight? Put up your hands, let me see. How many people like to fight? If not physically, how many people like to argue back by mouth? Alina Ramay na lo kya laya? Or kya mamagay mi? Bhagwan lukin. How many people like to fight back? How many people like to argue back? Ahimsa pratamam pushpam doesn't mean hurt by physical hurt. When you use your words and you discriminate people, you hurt them. When you use your words and you put down people, you hurt them. Ahimsa pratamam pushpam, pushpam indriya graham. What is indriya? Bhagavad Gita says, Manashastani indriyani prakritishani karshati shariram yaravapnoti yachamurtamati ishvaraha. Chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Manashastani indriyani. Indriya means our senses. He says, you want to allow me to bless you with peace? Start controlling your senses. Start controlling who you are. Start controlling your energies. When we say controlling your senses, how many people get vexed here tonight? Put up the hands like this, let me see. Alle kar well mamagai mi boy. Alle do get vexed? Yeah, right. Let our mind finish tonight and let me block the table in the back and say no food for nobody. And see what will help me here. Help or start by controlling your energies. Control your anger, your hatred, your temper, your jealousy, your greed. Start controlling these qualities. He says, Pushpam Indra Negraham Sarvabhuta Daya Pushpam. Be compassionate to those around you. Kshama Pushpam. Forgive. How many people could forgive? The greatest thing or the hardest thing for anybody to do is say, I'm sorry. Do you know that? We are always wrong and strong. People cannot say sorry. People will hold it in their heart and they will stand up and they will show you that they could do better, but they will never say, you know what I did you last time? I am sorry. A humble person will always show that gratitude and that humility. A humble person will show, my friends, the symptoms, as we see, of being humble. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutanam dharmasya taratmanam shajamyaham paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya tradoskritam dharma sansthapanataya shambhavami yuge yuge. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. In the age of Dwapar Yuga, which form of God came to the earth? Anybody? Nah, man. I can't believe all you. In the age of Treta Yuga, what manifestation came? Who? Who came? This side. This side. Jai Bhagwan. Only easy, man. रघुकुल रीति सदा चल आए. Bhagwan Shri Ramachandra came in the age of Treta Yuga. And he says, I will then remanifest in the other age if there's need be. And he came now in that age of Dwapar Yuga. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. In the age of Dwapar Yuga, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, Arjuna leaves his family. He's been separated, but because of a sacrifice, he leaves his family and he's about to go up the mountain. In order to achieve many things, you have to sacrifice. Nothing will come easy in the world. And if you think things will be handed down to you, easy come, easy go. You must work hard for what you want. You must strive hard for what you want. You must dedicate yourself for what you want. You must take your heart and put it into what you want. Have a passion for what you do. Love what you do. If you go to work every single day and you do not have joy for what you do, you'll wake up and you'll say, oh, God, work again, boy. If you're going to do our prayers, or you're going to do our puja, you're going to a yajna, even our pandits, if we're going to do our yajna, and we say, and next yajna again, boy. You will never do it to the best. You will never do it to your greatest. You'll never put love in what you do, but if you have a passion for what you do, you will be the best at what you are. No matter what it is. If you see your job as not just a job and a work, but you see it as part of duty in your life, you'll wake up and say, you know what? Whatever will come my way today in my job, I'm ready for it. The attitude that we have towards life is what will take us or break us. The attitude that what we have or the attitude that we will take to situations will make us or break us. What is your attitude to God tonight? Umapati Mahadeva ki! Arjuna finds a spot. He goes on a rock at the top of the mountains to pray. And while he's praying, he closes his eyes and he's chanting. Om Namah Shivaya. Panchakshara mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody loudly. Om Namah Shivaya. Om, Om, Om Namah Shivaya. And while he's chanting in japa, it is said by constant repetition of the name of God, we will build an aura of protection around ourselves that when we pray, the aura of God will always guide us. The aura of God will always protect us. There are so many means of our scripture that allows us to receive blessings and protection. But simple things that we don't know, we take for granted. For example, do you know when you're offering your dhar, there's a proper way of offering your dhar? How do you offer your jal when you go by the jandi? Anybody, show me. How you offer your dhar when you go by the jandi? When we do puja and we say, well, we tell the yajman, well, you're about to put down the jandi, come, you have to offer the dhar. They take the lota hand. Bhagwan, take that. So Bhagwan had to take that. Very good again. We simply take it and we just Jai Narayan. In the same way, when we offer our offerings on the bedi, Bhagwan hai. Sweet rice kya kamori spoon? Take that, Bhagwan. We take the term and we use the term very often. We're going to throw dar. How many people throw dar? I never see people throw dar for Bhagwan yet. We offer. When it comes to God, we offer. Never say throw dar. How do you offer your jal? It is said on a morning when you wake up and you must offer your jal to Bhagwan Surya or any deity, you must hold that dhar above the head. What kind of lota you must use? Well, we can stainless steel and all different kind of thing now. But the brass was used long ago because the brass is the conductor of the energy of Bhagwan Surya. When you hold that brass lota and you hold with two hands, not one hand. When you hold with two hands, it is said while the sun will shine on that lota that is made out of brass, energy will then flow. The energy of Bhagwan Surya will flow and it will be then attracted by the brass. It will then flow through the hands and throughout the body and be connected with one connection. When you hold that lota above and you start pouring, you must be facing the sun to offer a jal, not so. While you're offering that water from above, it is said the water must then fall directly in front of you to create that line of symmetry. It is said when the sun is directly in front of you, that energy is flowing through, or flowing directly towards you. And while it hits on that water that is falling, it is supposed to fall on that line of symmetry. It falls through that water and it's supposed to then be dispersed and allowing the energy to fall to every part of your body. We don't just throw dar. There's a meaning to everything that we do. When you hold that dhar above and you're offering and the water falls, Bhagwan Surya will allow his energy to flow through the water and then through that water it will be dispersed throughout your body. Through offering dhar, you become healthy. The sun will re-energize every atom in your body. The sun will re-energize every cell in your body. It will rejuvenate every part of your body. So you offer dhar and then gradually you start going down with the hands now until it's completed, not hair. There's a difference. Why we will offer dhar and there's a proper way of offering dhar, that dhar or the offering gives you protection because as long as the energy of Bhagwan Surya is there, the aura of Bhagwan Surya will protect you. Then, when you're doing arti by the bedi, you hold now the tarya in your hand. I asked many a times, recently I was asking some devotees, when you hold the tarya to do arti, why do you put water in the tarya? Baba, the tarya will get hot. You think that's why? Why do you put water in the tarya? Anybody know? When you're holding the tarya in your hand, it is said the water adds to creating the energy of the 5 elements. This is due to all the astrological signs of our beautiful culture and scripture. When you're holding that tarya in your hand, of course the tarya is made out of brass again. When you hold that tarya there, you have a diya made out of what? Earth. You have earth, you're going to light a fire. There's air and space, you need to add water. And when you have now that tarya that now creates the blessing and the protection of the 5 elements, you do your arti with it, allowing God to help you start conquering your 5 elements and your 5 senses. The Baba then tells you, you will turn around by the bedi. Don't forget to spin around. Why we spin around? Because you want to create that protective aura to protect yourself from negative energies from the world. When you're turning around, how are you supposed to hold that tarya when you're turning around? It is said when Lakshmana was about to leave Sita Mata, and he was about to go after Bhagwan Shri Ramachandra, at that point in time, he says, Devi, I will then create the Lakshmana Rekha. I'll create the protection of my arrow. And he took his arrow, he set up prayer, and he started to draw a circle around the kutia in which Sita Mata stayed. In creating that protection, we create a protection when we turn around. How do you create the protection? When you stand, you hold that tarya in one level. You don't keep waving up and down and yeah. One level. And when you turn around with that one level, that tarya, the light will create a protection around you one time. And then you turn a second time. If you take a pen or a pencil and you draw a line once, and you draw over the line a second time, it becomes darker. And a third time, it becomes very dark. That protection becomes prominent, and now you're ready to go back into the world. Nothing and no one can harm you. Everything in our prayer, everything in our puja has a deeper meaning than just what we see. Ask sometimes, learn and understand. Arjuna sits down and he starts to pray. His head bent, he will pray. He will never allow anyone to break his concentration. He will not allow anybody to disturb him. So he sits down to pray. And while he's praying, Bhagwan Shiva will not bless you unless he's satisfied with your prayer. I ask a question tonight to all devotees. Do you think God is satisfied with the way you pray? Some people do so. Jai Bhagwan. Well, if you know Bhagwan is satisfied, you know what to do, right? How many people believe God is satisfied with your prayer? Put up a hand, let me see. Now remember something, eh? What you believe is so you become. So if you think that God is not satisfied with your prayer, then you know what you have to do. Pray harder. Do more. Do more devotion. If you realize that your prayer is good and you feel good with your heart and your conscience guides you in the right way, continue with that flow. Do not fall in your energy. Arjuna sits and he prays. He forgets the world. And while he's praying, Bhagwan Shiva wants to test his faith now. God will put you through many trials. And at the end of it all, you will see the light at the end of that tunnel, as we say. Arjuna sits there. Bhagwan Shiva wants to come down. And he wants to see the strength of Arjuna. So he decides to come down, but he changes his form, he changes his roop, he changes who he really looks like. He's not Bhagwan Shankar. He changes his form, and as he's about to come to the earth to test Arjuna, it is said, Parvati Mata says, Shankar Bholenath, you alone going to have the fun? I want to come too. I want to see everything that is about to take place. So Parvati Mata is about to come, and Lord Shiva says, if you're coming with me, you must disguise yourself, because we're about to perform a little trick. While you will disguise yourself, let us go down. He comes down to the earth, and he's about to now go to the top of that Parvat. He's not too far from Arjuna. And while he's now approaching Arjuna, it is said through divine vision and blessing, through his hands, he allows a boar to be manifested, a wild boar. It is said the wild boar comes out of the blessing of Bhagwan Shankar, and he starts running through the forested path. He's climbing up the mountain and he's heading to Arjuna. And while the boar is running towards Arjuna, it is said charging towards Arjuna. Arjuna is known to be one of the greatest archers of all times. It is said without thinking twice, he can mount the arrows onto his bow and he can destroy anyone at will. While at that time it is said, Arjuna sits in meditation, not allowing the world to distract him. He hears the footsteps of that boar heading towards him. He hears the footsteps of the boar running towards him, and he can sense the direction. He's a great archer. And without thinking twice, it is said, he opens his eyes and he looks in all directions. And before even seeing anything, he mounts his arrows and he starts to shoot in a direction. With 3 arrows, my friends, he shoots in the direction of the boar. And immediately, it is said, the boar then parts some of the leaves and is ready to jump on Arjuna. The arrows hit at the chest of that boar, and he falls to the earth and he falls to the ground. As soon as that boar falls to the ground, it is said, Bhagwan Shiva, in the form of a hunter, he comes from the bushes. Parvati Mata, as the wife of the hunter, she comes out of the bushes. And she looks at her husband, who is the hunter, and she starts to clap and she says, well done. Well done, O great one. You have shot this boar, and this boar is no more. Arjuna stops and he says, you shot this boar? You didn't shoot any boar, I shoot this boar. Look at the arrows that are released. And he sees 5 arrows, he released 3. He says to the hunter, not because you shoot 2 arrows means that you kill the boar. I shoot the tree and kill the boar first, and you shot at the dead animal. You didn't kill that boar. And the hunter is saying to Arjuna, so you're saying that you're better than me? Are you saying you are better archer than myself? We need to contest this. So it is said Arjuna stood up there. And while Arjuna stood up, it is said not too far from Arjuna, Bhagwan Shankar in the form of the hunter, is standing there. A war is about to begin. It is said gods will assemble in the heavenly abode in mid-air because they want to see this war. Arjuna, a devotee of Lord Krishna, is about to stand up to fight Bhagwan Shankar in the form of a hunter. And while they are about to now battle it is said arrows are being exchanged and no one will beat one. But Arjuna puts down his bow and his arrows and is about to charge at Bhagwan Shankar, the hunter. And when he walks up to Lord Shiva takes his fist and it said with one blow he hits at Arjuna and Arjuna falls to the ground. But when he falls to the earth, Arjuna closes his eyes and he visualizes the lingam of Bhagwan Shankar and he starts to chant Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. He's chanting, my dear friends, for a divine Lord, Bhagwan Shankar. He's praying that he will be saved in that point and in that moment. And while he will be saved, it is said, the hunter looks at him and he says, if you would raise one more time, I will show you how strong I am. Arjuna stands up and he puts his hands now, folding a fist, and he's about to hit at this hunter. It is said, as he's about to release his hands, who does he see in front of him? He sees the image of Bhagwan Shankar. It is said he dropped on his knees and he put his hands together, haath jodkar immediately. Prabhu, maaf kijiye. I didn't see. I was allowing myself to get, or to allow ego to grow within me. Imagine a few seconds ago, I was in pure meditation. And a few seconds after, Jai Bhagwan. You all know people like that? 2 minutes ago, Om Namah Shivaya. 2 minutes after, look Always be calm, Nitya. Always be calm, relax, allow things to be. Everything by His grace, everything by His compassion. Never work up yourself. God knows what He's doing. He has a plan. Work yourself into that plan. Arjuna put his hands together and they prostrated to Bhagwan Shankar. And when he prostrated, it is said at that time, Bhagwan Shiva, he opened both hands and he allowed his most divine weapon, his most sacred weapon, the Pashupata, to be manifested. He says, Arjuna, I will give this weapon to you and you will be able to use it once on that battlefield. If you use the right discretion and you use that once, you'll be able to take out the entire field if you wish. And with the power of this weapon, you will be able to regain once more what you have lost. If you want to regain what you have lost in your life, wealth, prosperity, family, problems that have created a wedge between your home circle, pray to Lord Shiva. He is the embodiment of peace. He is the Lord of peace. He is the Lord of destruction. He will destroy all our problems and He will bring peace back into your lives. Arjuna turned around that day and he walked back to his kutya. And when he saw his brothers, they were so happy to see that he had received the blessing of that Pashupata. Prem Sasumapati Mahadeva ki, Kailash Pari Shri Shankar Bhagwan ki.
Prem Savala Gajanan Swami ki jai, Adshakti Jagadamba Devi Mata ki jai, Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. My dear devotees, let us all put hands together, close our beautiful eyes and bow hands. And as our eyes are closed and our hands are bowed, look back at the simple message Panditji gave. So beautiful, so powerful, so vibrant and energetic. Whatever little you have understood from tonight, put it into practice in your own life and better yourself. Climb the ladder of spirituality to Bhagwan Shivji as we pray with love and devotion. Hari Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Kote Samaprabha Nirviganam Kurumedeva Sarvakara Shusarvara Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurura Deva Maheshwara Gurura Saksha परम ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते Sudevaya. With your love and your devotion, chant with me in the name of Shivji. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. By yourself. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. One more time. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. With love, devotion, faith and confidence, loudly and proudly. Prem se bolo Shankar Bhagwan ki. Baap re baap. With power, vibration, energy, Shakti. This is Bhokal, Warren Road. Loudly and proudly. Prem se bolo Shankar Bhagwan ki. Beautiful. Sitaram.